I am calling the Lunenburg Finance Committee meeting to order. In accordance with the requirements of open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and broadcast over the Lunenburg Public Access channel and on Facebook Live on the Public Access Facebook page. The following information is provided for members of the public that would like to participate in the meeting remotely. Participate remotely from a computer, please use the link below to join the public meeting webinar. From a telephone, dial the toll-free number 888-475-4499 and enter webinar ID 792-737-0353. This agenda lists all of the topics which may be discussed at the meeting and are those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by open meeting law. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any announcements from the committee tonight?
No.
Excellent. Is there any public comment from the committee tonight? Any public comment from the public? Don't see anyone on the call. Public. All right. We don't have much of a chair's report tonight, just that one of our members, Mr. Baelish, is attending over Zoom. So any votes that we take tonight will be done with a roll call vote. Other than that, we can move right along. Madam Town Manager, do you have a report for tonight?
Good evening. Good evening.
So the last meeting, I think, was prior to November 1st for the committee, right? Okay. I'll just review some of the things I updated the select board on at their meetings. We received 2 bids for our real property data collection services. That's going to be one of the things that's voted under the budget adjustment article. So that total is $45,000, and that's what is in the budget adjustment article. The survey work at Marshall Park, we received 2 bids, and that was awarded for $17,700. And that was in the capital plan this year for $25,000. So there'll be a excess for that capital article. The RFP for the town hall lease, we received 1 proposal. We're currently reviewing that, and that's with the current provider, T-Mobile, is who we received the proposal from. For the solid waste materials cleanup at Woodruff property, we did not receive any responses to our bid. So we are reviewing what we can do within the scope of work and reaching out to the people who did take out bid packages to see how we can maybe amend that and make it more attractive for bidders. The DPW was before you last time, so the director, so you heard all his updates. Facilities is working on a variety of capital projects. Most will go out after the new year for projects. And also working with McCarty Engineering on the ADA patio work for the senior center, waiting on an updated cost estimate for that project too. But there was good news with that. They did soil testing and it came back that it wasn't contaminated from the previous septic system. So that would have drove up the cost for that project. So that was good news. New growth was certified, and the new growth certification number was $234,383, which is $20,860 more than our estimate at annual town meeting. And the library, using their LSTA grant, they're doing some programming related to STEM, and they're been open on Fridays and have reported that's very successful and busy, good turnout on Fridays during those open hours. The opioid settlement funds, we've received a total of $28,706, and we'll be receiving more funding coming down the road. I'm still trying to get total estimates for that because there's two different settlement agreements, one with Janssen and one with the distributors. So there's the different terms to those payment agreements.
Are there any restrictions that have been placed on what that money is going to be used for?
None that's because I asked that question because originally we had to submit documentation as being part of that settlement case or collaborative case that we reported what the potential impact would be from our police and fire on that. But what I'm hearing is there's no restrictions on that. But my last discussion with the board, we think it would be useful to the community to use those funds for a related purpose.
Is that ultimately the decision of the select board, or is that the town appropriated fund?
So currently, the law is that we would have to appropriate that funding at town meeting. There is legislation pending, making that where it would be like a special revolving account. So we'll wait and see on that.
Okay.
Certified, free cash was certified, and that was circulated to the finance committee. Everyone received that. Okay. The streetlights, we, after the purchase and sale agreement included a provision for basically reconciling the lights in the fields, and about 30 lights were identified that were phantom lights, they call them, some to our benefit, mostly to our benefit. There were more lights that we weren't being charged for than we were being charged for. So about 19 of those lights will probably be added to our inventory. The DPW director is reviewing that with the police chief for public safety, see if they're needed for public safety reasons.
What do you mean by phantom lights? I think they were not counted in the original
Right.
purchase.
So in our original purchase and sale, we had about 336 lights in our inventory. After there's a provision in the agreement, and this, I guess, is common occurrence, that when they go out and do all the field work, they identified what they call phantom lights. So we weren't being charged for some, and there were ones that we were being charged for, but that weren't in the field. So overall, it benefited us. So we're Green Communities is working, is going to be working with a consultant on RFP, and he's going to be providing oversight services as well. And I had a kickoff meeting last week with the state. So we're going to be moving forward on that. All good stuff. And that's it on that date. This meeting. The email migration is now complete. If any of you have any questions, you can reach out to me or the help desk at Suzer IT. They have been fielding calls, and I believe I've worked out all the questions and any access to the new Microsoft Office 365 account.
I have a question about it. So Chris and I were talking a little bit before. I could see a really easy way to break open meeting law with the use of OneNote in 365. Is there a way that we can either have that accessible to the public directly or completely have it shut down or removed? Because OneNote is a simple way of just having a single notebook that anybody could add to and see that's in the specific group. So we could have full conversations. We could share, we could do screenshots of any document that we
You
want
could
to.
violate open meeting law just by using your email too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just trying to think of what,
Yeah.
because I would love to use it.
I'd say I'd advise everyone against doing that because if you do get reported,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is it something that we can open up though? To the public? Are we able to open up certain
not that I'm
parts of it?
aware of, I can pose that question.
Okay. Because I know it would make at least kind of taking notes or working through ideas a little bit easier to workshop, but
Mhm.
under the purview of open meeting law.
Thinking about it, I would advise against that because then everything would be a public record.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, keeping track of those public records, that seems like it would be quite a task.
Okay.
So probably meant more for, staff members to
Mhm.
use that. The economic development bill that passed the legislature last week. And we received notification that the $100,000 earmark was in that bill. And that is going to go towards the abatement at 30 School Street. So that will reduce the amount will be needed from the capital article for the abatement. And that's all I have for updates.
Is that then reflected in the warrant now at this point?
No,
Because we're reappropriating capital,
we wouldn't reappropriate that until
Not until
annual.
next year.
Well, until the project's done, so we know the full extent of the cost.
okay,
Which the plan is to be done by town meeting. So we should know what we can appropriate at that
okay,
time.
okay, excellent. Any questions? Nope. Thank you. Do we have anything, do you know, if I know Karen's not here, do we have anything?
She is
Sure.
not, no,
Nothing to add? Okay,
nothing to add. You
perfect.
want me to stay here?
What's that?
Do you want me to stay here? Are you going right into?
Sure, that's why I threw it on there right afterwards. I just figured it'd be easy enough to go
All
to.
right.
So FY23 budget adjustments. I just kind of wanted to do a once over with it, just to make sure we're all understanding it. If there's anything that's sort of pertinent that stands out to you, and then obviously give the committee a chance to ask questions.
Okay.
Let me actually pull it up just to make it easier. You want to share that one? Okay,
Sometimes it takes a second.
okay, go right ahead.
All right. I'm going to start from the top.
Sure.
Okay, so the budget adjustment article is asking to amend 4 different lines within the operating budget. Line 22, which is the town manager expense, to amend it by 10,000, and this would be to pay for the cost of an engagement survey services firm for our employees. Line 28 for assessors administration is that 45,000 that I mentioned regarding data collection for the assessors. That's for and reval cost. Line 35 is for the planning board for the APDC, just administrative expenses. They've missed the last 2 budget cycles and looking for $5,000 towards administrative expenses. And line 71 for facilities and grounds for 13,000. And this would be the cost to backfill a position due to a person being out on medical leave.
What is the employee engagement survey?
That's basically, it's like a culture survey. So an outside firm
Yeah.
would do a survey of all of our employees,
Yeah.
see how they're engaged in their positions. It's really will be helpful for management level and department heads to really engage employees more. And there comes along with it some resources, management resources, tools.
Does this go up to all town employees?
That's the expectation.
Okay, literally all the way down to anyone that's employed by the town itself, but not the school, I assume.
Right, just the town side.
Okay,
So even seasonal employees and
We discussed, so yes, it should cover, yeah, it was up to 150 employees. I think we'd be able to that would fund.
Any other questions? Excellent. The projected revenues. That one up. So it might be a little bit more difficult to see.
Oh, the revenue expense sheet. Yeah, it's very small.
I'll put it up there anyways.
I don't need reading glasses yet, but I think I do after looking at it.
Good in standard.
Yeah.
definition on tables.
Yeah, we'll move around with it. There we go. Okay, right ahead.
So the revenue expense sheet just shows the amendment to the new growth figure, and it's blocked. So you can easily pick it out. So that's the adjustment of the $20,000. And shows the adjustments to the state funding under the cherry sheet on the revenue side, as well as the expense side under the cherry sheet charges. And it also shows the past year bill on here as well.
While we have this one up, can I ask a question on, and I meant to ask this the other night. Article 5,
Mhm,
the 184,000,
mhm.
is that already reflected in?
No,
Okay, so that would be in addition to,
no, because it's dependent on whether Article 4 passes
Right.
or not.
right?
And so we didn't want to title where it was going without knowing the outcome of Article 4.
Okay,
Because
so it
the
doesn't exist on this spreadsheet yet. It would be. an
Right, it
additional-
shows the available capacity.
Right,
It's the 186. So the 184 would be deducted from that balance.
okay, got it. Okay, thank you. Is there anything else that kind of stands out from this document that's you were not anticipating or anything? Yeah. Okay, it looked pretty standard to me when I looked it over.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
And it reflects the budget adjustment article numbers as well. I should have said that.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. That moves us on to. Let's see, special town meeting. So the consent calendar.
Mhm.
So the consent calendar request is to put articles 2, 6, 7, and 9 forward. Those are just our standard. Actually, if you'd like to, feel free.
Sure.
These are your
Um,
articles.
These are articles that we've, in the last few years, feels like few, especially during COVID, are non-controversial articles that we put forth to try to speed up town meeting.
We actually haven't cross-referenced this yet. We recommended approval, I believe, for
So I can go through the articles if you want.
sure.
Article 2 is a payment of prior year invoices, and both the finance committee and select board voted in favor, would recommended approval. All of these, both the finance committee and the select board voted recommended approval. This Article 6 is the sewer enterprise retained earnings article. Article 7 is the sewer enterprise, the Article 6 is the sewer reserve capacity stabilization fund. And Article 7 is the sewer infiltration stabilization fund to deposit money into both those funds. And Article 9 is the amendment of the salary administration plan, just adding positions to the grid, no financial impact.
Anyone have any issues with those?
No,
No.
Okay.
and looking through the others, that seems like the right ones to put in there.
Mhm. Again, so the only other one that I would add is just, as we discussed before, Articles 4 and 5 are somewhat related. But just so the committee has an idea that if Article 4, the Marshall Park Plan is approved, the idea is then to just pass over Article 5.
Correct.
But if it's the other way around, if Article 4 is defeated, then Article 5 would be put forward to move the money into a special stabilization fund instead. So it's sort of a trigger article in a sense, I suppose, but just to give the committee members and anyone watching a heads up, there may be some, it's sort of an audible that can be played depending upon what happens with the previous article.
Right.
I believe. So that's the way I would summarize it. Other than that, yeah, everything else sort of stands the way that it was before. The articles have been moved around a little bit from once we did our hearing or open meeting. But the articles are still in the same way that they were, or the same wording that were put in there before. So nothing else has really changed with that one. Are there any questions or concerns that anyone has? That was your last chance to go through it before it's in front of the entire town.
So it says final, the final special town meeting motions
Mhm.
just notes that the finance on Article 10, that the finance committee is to give the brief, and I guess we're just gonna have Peter give that for us, right? Is that still the, or did we change our view on that when I was traveling?
It's still sort of up in the air.
Oh, okay.
I did offer to. I have
Awesome.
plans to at least get slides to Heather by Saturday.
Okay.
To at least get something put together. To kind of discuss it or at least put the presentation forward. And then I have a feeling that this is just going to be a discussion of microphones at that point.
Okay.
That was sort of the idea. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. We'll see where that one heads.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do expect there to be some pushback. I believe in the board, the select board said that they were probably going to push back.
Right, they were not in favor of that, all but one, all but one.
Great support through the community for it.
We'll see. It'll be an interesting conversation for sure.
I'll have to watch it. I won't be there.
That's true.
I'll be in Tampa. So
Oh, I don't feel
Oh,
bad.
there's no proxy vote, mail-in voting.
Hawaii,
is there?
Tampa.
How do those remotes work?
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of that, so that's gonna put 4 of us there. Do we need to have a quorum for this?
That would be a quorum.
Yeah,
still.
you have a quorum
Do
then.
we need to have a quorum though? For town. for
When
special town
any
meeting?
vote articles you're gonna vote on the floor, you'll need a
Right,
quorum.
so if any of us are not able to make it that day,
Anyone else?
Mhm.
if anyone else is not able to, then. At that point, do we just sort of pass over? Because we can't
Recommendation.
officially vote.
Yeah, you would have to, there's no vote taken,
Okay.
essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to kind of
You
get that.
could,
You have to sit up in the
you
audience.
could
too.
vote tonight.
You could what?
You could vote tonight. If it's on any that you deferred, if you wanted to, unless you wanted to wait for.
Okay. Good point. Are
You
there,
would just announce that the moderator would ask,
that we did take a vote, right?
yeah,
Right, okay. Tom, Jay, other Tom, are you guys, is there any reason to think that you won't be at the town meeting on Tuesday?
I'll be there.
Yeah, I'm planning to be there Tuesday, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And just would just as well say, wait for Tuesday, just to make it more kind of consistent with the meeting as it goes. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Excellent. Hearing none. Off we go to the last so that would take us through this special town meeting article revisit as well. So it's just the 365 mitigation. Apologies for the error. I had
Does it say mitigation?
it does say migration, but I put
Oh, okay.
Office 360 instead of
Oh.
365. It was either 360 degrees or 365 days, and I couldn't remember which one it was, so I picked 360 degrees. Got it wrong. So this was just kind of a discussion that we wanted to talk about document control, moving things over, how access all of that stuff.
Yeah, so just, I set up a SharePoint, which is kind of the same as OneDrive. In the new platform and moved them all from the previous one we had, because those were linked to our old email addresses. So hopefully, I just wanted the opportunity, if all the board members had access to that. It seems like, Evan said he did. I saw some materials in there.
I
You
received
have
an
access to-
invitation.
What's that?
I received the invitation.
Great, yeah.
You haven't
I
taken a
asked
look
our
at it yet?
IT company, was this for you?
Oh. So, going forward, even rather than emailing stuff, we could, just drop
Drop it in.
documents there.
Mhm.
Also, if there's like a master file you have, you should be able to link to them too. So if you have a presentation that you gave to the select board and then us the next day, you
Mhm.
could just put a link to it as well.
And you can also set yourself up. I have it set up on mine now that anytime any document is moved into any folder or out of any folder or edited in anything, I get an alert immediately.
Okay.
So you can set that up as well. So it will work towards your
Okay.
putting documents in and not having to just email them out. Everybody has a notification set up.
So I just wanted to make sure that everyone on the board was able to kind of get into those, and if not, I could probably help walk you through it afterwards.
Yeah.
I'd also say we went through a migration at work at basically the same time as this one, and this one was smoother. So,
Glad to hear that.
so good.
I love using it. I think it has so many features.
It's so much
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Mr. Bayless, did you have something to add?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I have to say that I think I missed the whole migration. I can't get into my email now, so who should I contact to figure that out?
You can you send me your phone number, Tom? And
Sure.
I'll give it to them, or your personal email address,
Okay,
and I'll send our IT company and they'll contact you directly.
okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what I missed, but
There was a welcome email that went out the week prior with a drop dead date of November 4th. And that's-
okay.
that's when
I
you-
missed it too.
Yeah, it was the November 30th, October 30th.
But you can still get into it if you just go to Outlook, literally just outlook.com and enter in your new email address. You can troubleshoot your way right into it from there.
If you're savvy, right?
You can.
That's what I missed the drop dead date as well. I was like, oh, shoot, I can't get my email anymore. It's just a forgot password reset is all it is with your new email address. It's not
What's-
terrible.
I had to get
Okay,
temporary
what's the
password.
new email? What's the new email address?
First initial, last name at lunenburgma.gov.
Okay,
Yeah, I look forward to seeing how much more we can get done with this as well. I think I've already taken a liking to the calendars and being
Mhm.
able to check to see who's where and or who's going to be able to attend meetings. You can send out other meetings for requests for other people. I see it working well for budget season.
Yep.
And just, I'm sure people are not going to know where to go when, and
Mhm.
it just gets very confusing. Excellent. If it's okay with you, I'm going to take it out of order a little bit just to discuss our upcoming meetings.
Okay.
Just while you're here, that way you don't have to stick around too much longer afterwards.
Okay.
We are scheduled to have a meeting on Thanksgiving.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
We have a Zoom,
Want
we
to
have a
turkey?
Zoom link. I don't think there's any reason to have a meeting unless anybody is just really dying to not go to Thanksgiving for some reason. But I wanted to see more about if there was a need to have to try and squeeze in a meeting in either the week after or the week before to kind of get ready for budget season, looking over the calendar that you would put together. I don't see too much of an issue or reason to. I think we're gonna have plenty of meetings coming up in the month following.
Right, starting in January.
But I wasn't sure if in your eyes that there was a need to have, try and get that extra meeting to November or something like that.
I can't think of, I'd have to go back to last year's meetings to see kind of what was discussed at that point. Like I'll be busy on my end, working with departments,
Right. That was the other
their
thing.
budgets.
All the departments are going to be slammed at that point too.
Right.
Okay.
Capital Planning Committee will be finalizing their prioritization the beginning of December,
Mhm.
and hope to have it to me by December 15th, I think was the date they discussed.
Okay.
So
So December 15th, so that, let's see. So in theory, so that's the other one. We're supposed to have, we're scheduled to have a meeting on December 22nd, which I also can see that one not happening. But December 15th is the Thursday before. So depending upon if we really wanted to start getting right into capital. The day that it's due, I don't know.
Yeah, the only week in December I'm available is the 15th.
That's the only one you are available.
Yeah, I'll be in Mideast on the 8th.
Okay.
and all the capital planning presentations are going to be put up on their webpage.
Mhm.
Right now, the facilities and the schools presentations are up there. And we'll have up the DPW, police and fire shortly.
Okay.
I looked at last year's agenda just now, and the only thing we did in December was a discussion on chapter 70.
Oh, when the Tracy Novak came in.
Yeah, I think we did it at around that time.
Mhm.
And then we talked about what happened at town meeting. Those were
Mhm.
like the only two substantive agenda topics, so. I mean, you can make a call afterwards, but if nothing major comes up at town meeting, I'm good with not meeting till January.
I'd say yes to that. Maybe one meeting in between just to have kind of a check-in or something. Yeah. So we would be looking at, let's see,
Does schools take this oh no, does someone take it on the 15th?
this room.
Yeah,
No, I don't think there's anybody that's off on the other Thursdays, or that's in here on the other Thursdays.
Right.
Schools are on Wednesdays.
okay. I was thinking, okay.
There is the 29th. That would be the last Saturday, obviously, the last Thursday in November or December. And then we wouldn't be here until January 12th. Which is the first finance committee budget review. So we come in and just really start right into it,
Mhm.
basically. Okay, I mean, I can send out an email as well, get a feeler if we need to meet that last week in November, December or something like that. I'd rather.
My feel is waiting till January is fine for me, but I don't know.
Anybody else have a feeling on it? Meeting anytime between special town meeting and the first of the year.
There's nothing critical.
Yeah,
Agreed.
You'll be meeting plenty. after the new
Exactly,
year.
yeah.
well, plenty of time to talk in January.
Yeah,
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
great. Thank you.
We can go find new members during that time.
We start canvassing, exactly. I expect to have competition after our special town meeting.
That's great. Everyone will want to be here.
All right, moving on to minutes. We have the minutes in the drive from, just lost it, there we go. From our joint meeting with the select board back on 9/20, from our regularly scheduled meetings on 9/29 and on 10/13. And it looks like, here it is. So we would need to go back and get an update on the 10/13 minutes, I believe, correct, Jay?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just a typo.
which I think is enough to need it. Well, I mean, I guess we could
Say as amended.
exactly. So yeah, as long as everybody's okay with that, did everybody read what Jay's recommendation was for changing it? It was just an issue on the debt capacity forecasting. Which I would be fine with just accepting it with an amendment, and then we can just move it over afterwards. Anybody would like to make a motion for all three or them individually? I am open to either one.
Hello,
Oh, hi, Amanda.
hi. What? I don't know what the typo is. So I would love to fix those minutes, but I
Oh,
just,
sure. Remember it, so it was just,
Well, it went 9, 10, and 11 debt capacity was split. It was like number 10 debt and then number 11 was capacity.
Mhm.
Something happened there.
oh, okay,
So
I'll,
it just, with the numbering and the for 9, 10, and 11 for debt capacity, something happened with the numbering of them. It's staggered.
okay,
Can't we just approve them pending
yep,
direction to renumber?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
thanks.
Believe.
thank you.
So we
That's,
just
that's
don't,
not what I had on mine, on the one I was looking at. 9 and 10 were blank.
this was the 13th.
Yeah,
Yeah, the 13th. Let me pull mine up real quick.
I don't know how to find them.
That's all right. In the meantime, we can at least, we can probably move just at least to approve them
Pending renumber.
pending renumbering
The
or,
content is okay. It's just
right,
the-
assuming that they are done correctly. We can always go back and take a look. Anybody like to make a motion for that?
All right. I'll make a
I
motion
don't
that
have
we
it in front of me.
approve all three, the 929, 920, and 1013
13.
meeting minutes with the 1013 being assured that the numbering is proper.
Second,
All right, any discussion? All right, roll call vote. Mr. Bailish,
Aye.
Mr. Gray,
Aye.
Mr. Simeoni.
aye.
Sorry,
Oh,
sorry,
Aye.
guys. Sorry, so
That's
that highlighted spot, in the minutes. Which one was it? It's also the
Yeah.
10-13 minutes. There was an issue with, I didn't know who seconded, who motioned.
Oh, who motioned for this one?
Yeah, Mr. Gray motioned and seconded. So,
I seconded.
Oh, on 1013's minutes?
yeah. I just didn't, you were like, I'll entertain a motion, and Mr. Gray was like, yeah, like, yeah, I'll make that motion. And then you guys talked some more, and then then you said I got a motion, and then Mr. Gray seconded the motion, so I just didn't know what the actual thing was. Who did what in that situation, like, and I put the time down there for you guys to kind of watch it and see for yourself what you thought, and if Mr. Simeoni seconded it and Mr. Gray motioned, then I'll just make it say that.
No, I'm not sure I seconded it. I thought.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think anybody did, and I don't mean, like, I don't know.
okay. I will
So we
go
have to
back.
review that.
We might have to review that. Yeah, I can go back and take a look at the video and see what it ended up, if there's any way to see who it was. And worst case, we'll just have to go back and,
Well, so we can't
219
move to
mark.
approve.
no, we can't move to approve this one.
Okay, so,
We want to amend it.
right,
So
Maybe
we just do
we
the
were
first 2
voting.
minutes. 9.
why don't you just say vote fails for,
Yeah, I would say the vote failed because of
okay,
but
technical difficulty.
technically,
Okay.
exactly, technical difficulties with. Okay,
okay, so then, then my new motion based on that failing is, I move to approve the minutes of 920 and 929.
Second,
okay. Motion is made and seconded.
That was Jay seconding.
Any discussion? All right, Mr. Bailish,
Aye.
Mr. Gray.
Aye.
Mr. Simeoni,
aye.
Mr. Menard.
Aye.
And an aye from myself. We are unanimous for those two. And I will go back and take a look at the 1013 minutes and see if we can, or the video, and see if we can find who made a actual motion, and then the second itself, well, who made the motion. Not quite sure what we do if we don't figure out who that was. We have to re-vote on that one then.
They have to fire the two of you.
That puts you as the chair.
For a 3-member board.
All right,
Send it an email with the agenda on it for tonight?
for tonight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm not seeing
It's
that.
lumped in with someone,
Now.
when you responded to it.
On Tuesday.
So it's
Yeah, I
like,
know I responded to it, but how come I'm
if you
not
go
seeing
into
it
your
here?
response, you'll see it.
Where's that?
No, do you have your email?
Right here, isn't it? This one? No. Finance committee joined. So when I responded, it disappears.
Yeah,
So
you may
where-
have to like change your settings somehow.
Yeah, because now I'm lost.
So
There should be an email on Tuesday at 4:06 in your inbox.
I saw an email, yeah, and I think I checked off the
Yeah, because you did approve. Yeah, you did say
Yeah.
you were coming.
and I saw where Tom says I'll be there.
Yep.
But now I'm not seeing it in my inbox.
Hmm. I'm not sure. I wonder if it got lumped in just with other replies.
yeah, do this, go down. It's a little different. Where's your settings? Go to settings. You, oh, okay, so. We'll have to look at it afterwards
Alright.
for you,
Yeah,
because you have them.
Yes.
There's one that will say organized by thread,
yeah,
so then it clumps them all together.
okay.
You want to uncheck that.
All right, moving on to committee reports. I've regrouped them so that it's by person rather than alphabetically by board and commission. I want to bounce around. So Mr. Bailish, do we have anything for the library or police or fire?
I do not.
Okay. That's fine. Mr. Gray, anything for green communities, land use?
We were supposed to have a meeting on Monday for the municipal building, but that got canceled, so we're having it. I think on the 21st of November.
Have you guys met since?
No, we haven't. We had a meeting, but we had meetings canceled because just can't get everybody together.
Yeah.
But-
I'm very curious to see what they do with a $42 million
Yes,
number. See what they can come up with for ideas.
yeah, it is the 21st, Monday, the 21st is our next scheduled meeting.
Anything from parks?
Just a reminder that the Parks Commission has a warrant article that would move Marshall Park along.
That's for the engineering of Marshall Park, correct?
Mm-mm.
Full engineering.
I don't recall. May not be full,
We'll find out on
but
Tuesday.
yeah, we'll find out on Tuesday. Yeah.
There's a big presentation put together, I believe. Okay. DPW sewer.
No, I've not been able to catch up on anything.
All right. Board of Health. I missed the last meeting. But I'm sure that looking at the agenda, there wasn't much that was important to pass along here. Capital planning, as Heather said, they've started meeting a little bit, but we'll hear more, I'm sure, coming up. And I have not checked in with Council on Aging or in the school committee I did watch. I didn't see too much that was necessary for us to go through as well, though, for that one. So pretty light meeting. And they went into a private session for a little while.
So I watched the capital planning, just for everyone. It was actually a pretty good one to watch.
One,
The facilities director laid out like, I guess the Monday one, because I didn't watch the Wednesday one. He laid out kind of a
Sounds part
10-year
of it.
plan on it. That was pretty thorough, in my opinion. That may be a good one for people to catch as a preview of what will come to us. As well as putting in context of long-term planning.
That was from this past Monday.
Yeah.
yeah,
To watch that one. glad they're being recorded. All right, skipping over ideas for future meetings, and let's move right on to our actual upcoming meetings. Just really quickly. So at this point, I'm fully inclined to say, let's just do special town meeting. Let's see how that goes. If there's anything big that comes out of special town meeting, I'm happy to throw a meeting on for December 8th, but otherwise I would keep that as just sort of a placeholder at this point. If there's any objection, feel free to speak up. Otherwise, special town meeting and then January. Sounds good to me. I also, go ahead, Mr. Bailish.
No, I was saying it makes sense to me.
Okay. I put on here as well, the MMA trade show has been scheduled for Friday, the 20th and Saturday, the 21st. If anyone on the committee is able to go, I believe registration is covered within our budget, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to check with town manager on that one, but I'm fairly certain that our registration is covered for us. If anyone would like to attend, I'm planning to attend at least one of the days.
Do you all get like emails from them and stuff?
No,
'Cause
I had to-
don't.
I had to go onto their website to find out.
I get them all the time.
How did you get on? Like I tried to get on and.
I thought they went to everybody, see Mass Municipal Association.
Okay.
Webinars and their annual meeting is broadband cannabis.
Cannabis.
Cannabis law. Yeah.
You've got to go to your settings and change your setting.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, any,
Thought everybody in town was getting them, but
no, I've never received an email from them at all. I just saw the one that Heather sent me as a forward, and then I went onto their website just to check it out and see. But even though I've signed up, I've still not received any, I haven't even received a welcome email. So I'm not sure.
litigation.
I'll keep it on here anyways, just for people to see, and I'll check with Heather. Any public comment from the board? Nope. Hearing none. Any public comment from the public? There's nobody else in here. Seeing none. An empty room unpack. I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Right, motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? Perfect. Mr. Bailish,
Aye.
Mr. Gray,
Aye.
Mr. Simeoni,
Aye.
Mr. Bernard,
All right.
and an aye for myself. It is 9:48. We are adjourned and I will see
It's
you.
7:48.
Sorry, 7:48. Go to bed. 7:48. Wow, that was a really
Yeah,
short.
Peter's not with us.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't. I think.
Let's see if he watches the meeting.
What do you
Peter's
say?
gonna like, I now have a comment.
Quick
Hour and a half.
quick question. What, just a reminder, what time is the town meeting Tuesday?
7 PM at the
Seven. Okay.
high school auditorium.
Okay, great.
And please show up because otherwise we won't have a quorum.
Yep, see you all then.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Aye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah.